name is Megan. I'm a service learner for CSUMB working with the Monterey County Free Libraries. Today we're going to be doing some watercolor art, and you do not need any fancy pre-knowledge on artistic things to be able to make something great today. I just wanted to let you guys know what kind of options you have. With watercolor art, there are some stores like Michael's and I believe Target may have some of these too, where you can buy ones. This is one that I completed, but it was blank like this one, just with a drawing before that you can kind of paint in however you like. So this gives you a good base. I'd recommend, if you're struggling with ideas, you can always buy that, and it comes in a pack. Mine also came with a set of watercolors and some paintbrushes that we will be needing today. If you prefer to do your own thing, all you need is a reference picture of whatever you want to create, and then you can go ahead, and I would recommend sketching what you want first so you get to something like this, but just with your own design. And then these are some of mine that I used. This is a place that I went to, and this is just an art piece that I liked, so I decided to create my own version of it. So you really have a wide variety of ways you can go with this. Okay, and then for our materials today, we will be needing one either blank sheet of watercolor paper or a sheet that has a design on it but no color yet. The next thing you will be needing are some paint brushes. I recommend grabbing some different sizes just so that you see how these things are a little smaller, this a little bigger, so it'll just make it easier for you if you have big ones and small ones, a little variety. And then, of course, we'll be needing our watercolors and a cup with some water in it. You can use any cup you like. The watercolors never stain because they're water-based. All the paint will just wash off. Once you're done, you can clean that cup out and it should leave no stain. I have decided I will be doing this one today. So let's get started. So the first thing that you need to do is just get your brush wet or rinse it off if you've already used it, if you're going to be changing colors. Then you want to select a color. Let's go with brown. And depending on how much you want the color to show, if you do it a little less, the color will be more pasty, and if you add more water, it'll be a little more see-through. So right now, it's kind of an in-between. Once you have the color how you like, I'm gonna add a little bit more water. Just go in and start painting the part that you want to be that color. And you'll see how it starts off really dark, and as I use more and more, it fades into a lighter shade. So you just wanna, if you wanna keep it the same color, just wanna keep dipping your brush in that and go again. And the first part of it will always be the darkest. So if you're trying to get it to be the same color, just have some patience and, spread it out. As it spreads, the colors, the different shades of the color will blend together to get you to where you want to be. So we're just going to keep doing that, and we're going to do this for up here as well. And one thing that I forgot to mention earlier is you want to try to keep the color you're using wet so that you can just keep going in with more and more color. So you just want to dip your brush in your water every once in a while, put it on the side a little bit so it's not like too wet, but your brush is moist, and then dip it in the color that you're using. You just want to rinse your brush out when you go to switch colors and move to a different part of your painting, just so that the colors don't blend together and then it messes up what kind of color you're trying to use. So then we go to our colors. I want to use yellow for the pineapple, so I'm gonna go in there with some yellow, and it might be a little harder to get the lighter colors looking how you want them to. Okay, so I got lucky today. This yellow's pretty bright, and I'm just gonna go around and then in and just keep brushing it where I want the color to be. This one is really nice. It's kind of staying consistently that color, even though my brush is getting a little drier. So I think it's time to dip it in my water. And then brush it off a little and dip it in my paint again, just to keep it wet. So this is my final product for now, before our last step, which is going to help us add back in the detail that we started with. I forgot to mention this earlier because this is sort of an extra step if you lost a lot of detail while you were painting, or you just want to add a little something to it. You're gonna need, just grab like a few different color pens, or even you could just do it in black. The purpose of this is, as you can see in this one, before all the black pen, everything was just kind of like smudged together, different colors and such. And then I went in and it just brings back the shape of your painting. So basically what you want to do is just grab some different pens. I'm going to start with black, and you want to go in and just kind of outline the shape. You can add in some details too, like me. This is really just, it depends what you want it to look like. all personal preference. If you're fine leaving it the way it was, you can totally do that too. So I'm just gonna continue to do that around these little guys too. Just add in that detail and such to bring it back. And of course you don't have to exactly follow how you painted it. If you want to change the shape up too, you totally can do that too. Sometimes it makes it a little more fun. Again, this is all just personal preference. You don't have to do any of this if you don't want to. And I'm just going to continue to do that with the rest of this, with green, blue, black, whatever I think will be best, and I'll come back with the results for you guys. So now that I went in there with the pen and traced some of those lines, you can see the detail is way more than it was before just with the colors. Another thing you can do if you have a shape that you started with, like me, you can leave the background blank, like the artist who created the piece, the sketch, I guess you could say. Or you can go ahead and add little things in the background or keep it blank. For this one, this is an example. It was just this leaves, and I went ahead and added a table with some plants, a light with some little plants, a clock, a window, and a little painting just to add to it a little more. But again, personal preference. You can do whatever makes sense to you. Thank you for joining me today.